and welcome to another theme build video. I am Sphinx STO, and today we will be looking at the legendary Temporal Operative Escort, otherwise known as the NX. And I chose to go with the refit hull and the refit skin on this one, since I consider this to be a little bit of an upgrade to what Archer was using. So let's look at what we have put on the ship. So in the front we are using 3 covert phasers, dual beambanks, and also then we have the low B wide arc phase cannon from the 22nd century and the spatial torpedo launcher. Those two together gives you a clicky, this thing down here. It's called Careless Overload, and it basically gives you an AoE when you click it, but when it expires the phase cannon and the spatial torpedo goes offline for 10 seconds. But if you then equip the console, you mitigate that expiration penalty. Let's just take a quick look at that. You also get 100% recharge speed for Careless Overload. Other than that, we are using the Colony Deflector, Competitive Engines, Discovery Reputation for the Warp Core and Shield. Then we are also using the Kinetic Cutting Beam with the Assimilated Module. And those two together gives you the chance to apply Omega Weapon Amplifier, which basically is a reduction in weapon power cost, which is a nice thing to use if you're using beam overload. Experimental weapon, I chose to go with the Experimental Slam Shot Magnetic Artillery that comes from the Amari. Then we have the standard energy amplifiers from R&D level 10 in beams. Temporal Negotiator gives me a little bit of cooldowns of bridge officer powers, Deuterium Surplus, and the Reactive Armor Catalyst. And since this is a ship with an extra console, I put in 6 locators on this. And then we also have Domino. We have the M6 computer from the tier 3 temporal ship that you can get in the shipyard for some dilithium. We have the Point Defense Bombardment Warhead that came with the ship. We also have Binaural Infusion Circuits, gives hull capacity and critical severity, and the Assimilated Module as mentioned. There is one more console that comes with the ship, and that's the grappler hook thingy. That is just useless, in my opinion, so I chose to not use it. For the stations, we are using the following abilities. We have a engineering team, Chemosite, Attack Pattern Beta, Torpedo Spread 3, Scatter Volley 3. And then we have Tactical Team, Distributed Targeting, and a Beam Overload. Then again we have Emergency Power to Engines and Emergency Power to Weapons. Finally we have Science Team, Photonic Officer, and Polarized Hull, since this is the NX. On the trait side we are using a bit of what we have and what we can pick up from the C-Store. Crippling Fire. We are using Beam Training, Intelligence Agent Attaché. A good day to die, because this is a tactical and all tacticals should be using this, because then you can employ go down fighting at any time. Inspirational Leader. We have Operative, Terran Targeting Systems, the Boimler effect for cooldowns. Then we have a Fleet Coordinator for bonus damage if you're in a team. And finally, Thrill Seeker to move around swiftly. Starship traits, it is the Preferential Targeting, which comes from this ship. Basically gives more damage to beam overload when you're using Scatter Volley on this ship. Overpowered and Overgunned, which comes from the legendary Defiant. We have the Best Diplomat, which comes from the legendary Constitution. Emergency Weapon Cycle from the Arbiter, and then we have the Best Hope of the Empire from the legendary Galaxy X. And finally, from the Nautilus we are using Improved Polarized Hull, because this is the NX. Polarized hull is kind of the thing with this ship. And that is the whole ship and build. And where else to go but the Archer system to check it out in combat? Enjoy!